Hello and greetings to you from wherever you'll be watching me from. My name is Ibrahim Yakubu, and in this video I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about CSS display grid. Now display grid is just like flexbox, but it's much flexible than flexbox. Alright, so watch me in action as we go on. So I walk you to the project setup. Now I have my index file and then I have the CSS. As for this image, don't mind it because we are not going to use it. Alright, so it's the HTML file and then the CSS. Also the CSS is linked to the HTML file on the line 7 as always, and then this is my CSS file sitting right here. Alright, and CSS display grid is just like the display flexbox. Alright, but with the display flexbox it add a lot of flexibilities, and I think it's a way to go around when you want to come up or you want to achieve responsive web design. Alright, so let's start. Div, we need a parent div, and of course children. Alright, so we need about, let me say we need for now we need 4 childrens. Okay, so item 1, item 2, item 3, and item 4. Good. Now we have these items, and always you need to understand that either flexbox or display grid, they are all applied to the parent and not the child. So we are not going to apply it to the children, but instead we are going to apply them to the parent. Alright, and the effect is going to be seen from the children. That is very good. So let's come here and then target the parent, and also we will target the child here, child. But for now I'm going to start styling the child. I'm going to give them a padding of 20 pixels, and then a padding of 20 pixels, and then a margin of let's give them margin of 10, and then a font. Okay, text align should also be center. My bad, should also be center. Text align center. And then I think that is all. So let's go to the browser and refresh. This is now what we have. Okay, but I think something is happening with our background. It is not there. So background of red, and now I think we have it. Very good. So item 1, item 2, item 3, and then item 4. We are actually coming to look at how to use CSS grid. All right, so now, and mind you, we are not going to learn everything about CSS, but I'm going to teach you the most important aspect of CSS grid. At your own free time you can search and learn the others if you want, but I'm going to teach you in this lecture the one that always you will be using and the one that you must know in designing a responsive website. Alright, so moving on, I come to the parent and I set the display to grid. Alright, I set the display to grid. The moment I set the display to grid, then display grid is in action. Nothing is going to be shown or nothing will be seen here much unless we specified. So I come here and I said grid template columns. Alright, so grid template columns is for specifying the columns that we want to have. Okay, it's for specifying the columns that we want to have. So if I set 2 here, it means we are going to have 2 columns. Wait, look at what I'll do. I'll set it to auto. All right, and what auto will do here? Refresh. Very good. Isn't it amazing? You see that now our element, instead of them setting line by line, now they are setting 2 2. All right, they are setting to 2 because we've set the display grid to 2. Actually, I think this is the very best way of making responsive web design. I like CSS flexbox, but my favorite is grid. I don't know about you, but this is my favorite. Let's look at something else also. What if we come here and then we set another auto to it, so that now it is 3. Okay, refresh, and now we see the columns are now 3 columns. Okay, we now have 3 columns. Very good. So there was actually something that I want to introduce you guys to. Instead of saying auto, we can now come here and then say repeat. Okay, and then we specify the the weight we want the element to have. So I can say I want all the element to have a weight of 100 pixels. So 100 pixels is here. Sorry, I want repeating of 3, so it will repeat the children, 3 by 3. All right, so 3, and then the height should be 100 pixels. Look at what now we will have. So we will refresh, and then we see that now the items are sitting in 3. They are sitting in 3s, 1 2 3. Okay, and their weight is now set to 100 pixels. Okay, if it was to be more than 4 elements, you see that the rest of them will also come here, and then in that order it will be 3 3 3 3. But now we have only 4, so the first one is in 3, the last one is 1. That is very, very good. All right, but it's actually a bad way to specify the the size here. So you can use either 1FR. 1FR will tell the element that it should span to whatever available weight that it can get. All right, so 1FR will just let the element span to the available weight. It will take every weight that is available. You can use the 1FR, or you can also use the auto. But me, for instance, I am a best friend of the auto, but let me demonstrate the 1FR. So this is the 1FR. Is going to take up every weight that is available to the element, and if we set it to auto also, the auto is also just going to be like this one. Okay, so I refresh and we can't even see any change. All right, so this is something very powerful. Actually, when working with display grid, you don't necessarily have to set the weight for your element. Just use the auto or 1FR, and what will happen is the element will automatically have a weight for each element, and that is going to help you in your responsive design. All right, enough of the talk. Let me come here and also let me say that I don't want the margin here to be there, so I've taken out the margin. Let's refresh now and see. So now that the margin is not there, you see the elements are now joined together. But CSS Grid display has a very best way of giving us this thing that the margin was giving us previously. So look at what now we have. I have to come here and I said grid gap. Okay, and I set the grid gap to 10 pixels. When I set the grid gap to 10 pixels, it will give the gaps for us. Very good. I hope now you can also see on the screen that we have the grid set up. So I'll say that the CSS grid is something amazing, something powerful. In fact, you cannot do away with this particular property in CSS. You really should be using this one. All right, and let me see it. Let me bring this across. If in case you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel and try and then give us your comment. Let us know how this lecture is helping you. Give us a like and also share the video so that your friends, your loved ones can also enjoy the show. All right, so let's continue. Now we have set the grid gap to 10 pixels. I want to actually get a columns of 2, so I'll specify this one to only 2, and this is what we are seeing on the screen here. All right, that is very good. And one thing about CSS Grid is it's responsive. Okay, it's responsive. The weight are set by itself, so it is responsive. No need to be using scroll bars left and then the right. All right, it is really cool in CSS. All right, so that is something small about the CSS display grid. And you can also use the justify content, let's say space between, and watch what is going to happen. Space between, and you see that now the spaces, it has spaced the element in between, so the elements are now sitting at each side of the screen, just like the flex box. Okay, so what if we set it to the center? All right, to set it to the center, let's come to center, and then we refresh, and you see the element now sitting at the center, right? Sitting at the center. So it's just like the CSS flexbox, but this one, I think there's an update or there's some extended features, all right, of it. and we can also do the flex start, and then the flex start, just as you know, will bring it to the start of the screen, and we can also change the start to end, flex end, and that will take the content to the end of the screen. That is all about the justify content, but I like it to be as it is, so I'll take that one out, but in case you need it, you can always go about and use it. We also have the align items. All right, you can set them to center and watch what happens. And watch what happens. At the moment, nothing happened though, okay, because you see the elements are all having the same width and height, so there's no need for you to do anything. But if there's the need for that, you can use it and you can have the perfect look. All right, so for now, this is what I want to expose you to. This is something I want to show you with CSS display grid. And of course, we have so many advanced, in fact this one goes beyond the side, okay, it goes beyond the side, but the truth of the matter is you will not even be using them. For instance, we can change item 1 to be item 4. We can move this one from this side to come to this particular side, okay, so the 1 will be at the 4th. They can change the 2 to wherever you want it, all right, using the order and other things, but that one is merely use. It is merely use. This mainly is what you will be using, and we will combine it with media query to create a responsive site. All right, so this is something small I want to share with you, and I can bet you that you need this, and most of the time this is what you are going to use to create your website and also your features that you want in your website. But of course, if you want to also dive deeper, you can try searching online to find more resources, or as well you can Google other YouTube videos to watch. But my take for you is this is what you need. But if you learn this and you want to go deeper, you can also try your hands on other videos and you will learn so much in it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this lecture. I really appreciate your effort. I would like you to subscribe to this channel, like the video, give me your comment if you have been helped by this content, and also share the content with your friends, your loved ones, so that they can also enjoy the show. If you are not on the Telegram platform, try as much as possible and join us there. We're at Code with Ibra, and we are going to learn so many things also there. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you in the next lecture.